Hi guys, welcome to the final day, demo day. So I think it's amazing how every one of us have gone for 9 weeks to be here today. And I'm just one of many people who have been well informed on how, we can move from one career to get them to the other to be better. So here we are, Tech Leap. I'm just gonna give you a brief history of how we came about, with this idea. And it was because we noticed that a lot of people are moving from one career to another or one industry to another. And we wanted to see how can we ensure that in terms of transitioning into one career to another, you don't have any issues, there's no problems, nobody's ghosting you or whatnot. So we came up with the idea, Tech Leap. So I'm just going to go to the next page and, talk about my teammates. So my name is Seppi, and I am the project and scrum master for this team, as well with my second, which is his name is Ezekiel. And then we have Ayegba, who's our business analyst, Efrat, who's our product owner, Sador, and Bemilike, who are our developers. So I just want to introduce you to somebody who motivated us to be able to have this idea. And he goes by the name Francis. Next slide, please. So Francis wants to, he's 32 years old and, he wants a better, money and, income for his family, especially with the fact that he also has family abroad where he wants to be able to ensure that, they have money on standard. But the problem now is with the type of occupation that he's in or industry he's in, he's not getting the amount of money that he wants. He's not getting the amount of motivation that would allow him to use the analytical skills that he has acquired over the years. So we asked him, okay, so what would you think? And he said, oh, he would like a situation whereby moving from one career to another is seamless, and as well as having somebody to guide him through the process of transforming from one career to another will be so easy, because he's had his experience, for example, with LinkedIn, where he reaches out to people and they ghost him, or, before they respond to him, it takes like months, if probably years, for them to get back to him, and who knows. So we said, okay, how can we go about to ensure that we make this transition process for Francis easy? And then we had to do some research and surveys to understand the minds of other people in other industries too, who are also in the process of transitioning, as well as people that transitioned already into this field. So I'm going to move it to Aiba, who's our business analyst, to go further. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. In order to capture a real feel of the market, we decided to look into what our competitors are already doing. Uh, our persona is going to be transitioning into a technical field, and there are platforms already in place for that. However, these multiple platforms have limitations and shortages. Our goal was to go discover what these shortages are and come up with a good value proposition and have our product be very unique, and we chose our value proposition to be a mentorship features, our networking ability, and to narrow it primarily to a tech-based environment. Now I'll pass this on to my product owner to show you how we can accomplish this.
Thank you. So based on the discoveries that we did by doing user research and market research, we found that the thing that was missing, as Seppi mentioned, was the idea of people feeling like they feel quite alone when they're transitioning into the industry. They want to have sort of a place where they can interact with other people and basically have a mentor that is actually their own mentor. And it's not, as Seppi mentioned, not just somebody we are just messaging on LinkedIn or finding in other places. It's somebody that is actually going to be sort of with you through the whole process. So our solution to the problem of our example persona is that a person is they might be very skilled in one area. They might be very skilled with, they've been working at a industry for a long time, but they're still technically a beginner when they're joining into the tech industry. So we're still considering them to be a beginner, even though they're highly skilled. So our pathway is to take that person who is a novice, a beginner in this new industry, but not forgetting the fact that they're not a beginner in the sense of not having no skills. So they're a beginner, but we're turning them into an expert while also accommodating for the fact that they already have skills. So they're getting given access to sort of tailored courses. So at the beginning, it's going to be fairly basic, but in the future, we plan that this sort of tailoring, this sort of uniqueness to each user is developed further. But that's the concept, that we're taking on people's existing skills while also considering that they're beginner in the new field, and then giving them a pathway that helps them transition. And the way we do that is by providing an integrated mentor experience. So we're not just kind of only giving people, a guidance of this is what it's like to enter into the tech industry. We're actually saying, here is a person that can guide you while you're also learning, because it's not going to be, the mentorship is not just about, teaching a person what's going to happen. It's actually confidence building. It can be just giving them tips and things about the industry that they wouldn't be able to get from doing just courses on their own. And the way we kind of sort of have been framing this is we want to make it feel like it's almost a gamified experience, and also to be a part of a network eventually. Once more and more people join, we want there to be an actual network and a community of people that are using this product. And so just to summarize all of this, I'm gonna jump over into our actual product demo. So I'm just showing you our landing page, first of all, for TechLeap. And it's essentially designed for people that are, like I said, beginners into the industry, but they're highly skilled from multiple different places. And what they can see here is they're seeing everything, that we're already doing. Here is a little snapshot here of the kind of thing that we're going to be developing later on, but it's helping a person know that just because they have experience in one thing doesn't mean they can't transition. So they can let us know what skills they already have. And then from that, we can say, well, actually, doesn't mean that doesn't mean you can't switch over into becoming a UX designer, because you might have experience with data, but you are interested in UX. So here is what you need to do to get that process started. So they can click on Get Started, and that will take them into the app. Now, our example is logged in to the platform. So we're using a different example persona. This user is called Efath, which is my name because it was already logged in. But this user is now just logging into the dashboard. This is the dashboard view that they're getting. This user has chosen the pathway of a UX designer. So this user was, they have skills, they have previous skills, but they are now wanting to become a UX designer. And what we have done actually, we have given them a recommended course pathway, which is essentially an actual course pathway that a UX designer would take to develop from absolute novice, absolute beginner to expert level. And this user has actually already completed their first course. They've completed the first course, and they're seeing this on their kind of progress tracker that they've gone from beginner, they've gone to the next level, and they've achieved a milestone. And what this user is now able to do is they're now ready to enroll onto their next course. But what we're going to suggest to them is, before they enroll into their next course, because they've already kind of got a hang of what's happening in the industry, they know they're a bit more familiar now with the industry than they were previously, we would recommend that they actually now book their first session with one of the mentors that we recommend. So just briefly on the mentors themselves, in order for our product to work, we need to source out high quality mentors beforehand. And this is going to be something that we would have done before we launched this out into the public. And so we will recommend mentors basically based on what we have considered to be an expert in the industry. And we've brought them onto the platform already. So these are people that we have vetted out previously, and they're on the platform. Something I just want to mention, this platform is available to both mentors and the mentees. We're currently just showing the mentee view right now. So this is a person that's a beginner in the industry and progressing forward. There is a view of the same dashboard that is from the mentor, but we're just focusing on the mentee right now. So this user has completed the first course, and they are now ready to book mentorship session. They want to know, if they're on the right track. They know they're on the right track because we're telling them they're on the right track via the app, but they just want to they want to build up their confidence a little bit more. They want to ensure that they're doing the right thing. So they have chosen one of these mentors. So they're going to choose Bianca, and they're going to find out more about Bianca. And here we basically show the user who this mentor is. We put their credentials at the top. We, put their ratings and credentials and a bit about who that person is and what areas of expertise they have that the UX that our mentee is already interested in. So based on the course that they've already done and a bit of digging that they've done, they can see that, okay, this user is doing these things. Let me go ahead and book a session with this person so that I can find out more. The first session is going to be free. And so what we do here, we just say, okay, this mentor looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and book a session. And we land straight into the Calendly page for the mentor. And I'm going to choose a time. So I'm going to say on Monday, I'd like to have a call, just going to be a quick 30-minute call with this mentor. And I'm going to pick a time and I will basically be able to have a call with that person at that time because this is all going to end up in. So I'm able to write some notes and I can say I have just completed my first course on TechLeap. So that the mentor is going to be aware that this is which stage of the journey the person's on. And once I schedule that event, that is booked and ready to go. And this invite will land into my inbox as a mentee and is booked and all good. And let me go back over to the dashboard view. Because this is going to be the mentee side. Now, as I mentioned, from the mentor side, they're going to be doing the opposite thing, which is they're going to be providing their availability. They're going to be providing, the times that they're available. And then for them, they'll just be getting an email. Like I got the confirmation email that is booked, they're going to be getting a confirmation email that a session is booked for them on their side. But we're just focusing on the mentee side of things for now. And so once that session is booked, that's gonna be all good for the user, and they can go ahead and enroll onto their next course if they wish to, or they can wait for the mentor session to happen. But that should be it. So now I'm gonna switch back over to the roadmap just to show you guys what is happening in the product right now and what we kind of plan to do in the upcoming releases. So for the MVP, which has basically just been internal testing, which is the group of us, our team in TechLeap, and we have managed to build out what I have shown you. So we can build out a profile for the mentee in which they can display information about themselves. They can get a recommended course pathway for the career path that they've chosen. They can browse a bunch of mentors and see, which mentor they would like to go with. They can progress track and they can book a session. Now, what we're working on right now, which isn't fully complete, but is partially complete, which is in orange, is the mentor profile setup. So the mentor being able to set up their side of the profile, them being able to set up their availability, and then the full call booking will take place once the mentor has given their actual availability and the mentee can book. And that will complete that feature in its entirety. Right now, it's just obviously only half done because we're only able to book from the mentee side. The mentor currently isn't setting any availability right now, and we're kind of just in the progress of getting that done. But in the closed beta, when we have, a couple more users to test this out, we would test this out with just a few friendly people at the beginning. Once we've got those core features built, we can start to kind of focus on the next step, which is once the first call was free with the mentor, but the mentor, we want to make this an opportunity for the mentors to, get paid and kind of progress in their own career as well. So we can actually take payments for the sessions that they do beyond the initial call. And after that, we've thought about bringing in a subscription model where we offer a lot of these things for free, but later on we can actually do a $5 or something subscription cost where we can introduce a few more of the features in for a cost. The other thing,
make sure that you have your overtime, so we'll give you guys 30 more seconds.
Okay. Eventually to kind of make this into a gamified experience with a full-on network where there's mentors are able to progress into their careers. And that would be later on in the open beta. I'm just going to quickly summarize over into the revenue model if we have like 15 seconds, but otherwise we're done with our presentation.
Thank you. Just about 15 seconds to wrap this up. In order to get a feel of if we're going to make profit, we already answered a few questions. We already know what our product is, who our product is for, and why we're going to develop this product. Now, the final question is, are we going to make a profit? And in order to get that, we need to calculate how much it costs to get up to this point. From the 9 weeks we spent so far, based on summaries, direct material and direct labor costs totals $38,485, including advertising. And 6 months from now, we picked out 6 months from now to determine at that point how much would we have made. And based on all our calculations, with a subscription fee of $5 per month for each user, an affiliate course fee of $1, and a $10 mentorship fee, if we can total 5,500 users by the end of 6 months, we would have a revenue of 73,000, which is about double the cost of our initial startup cost. And this in turn practically means that at the 26th week mark, we would have broken even. And this is just a little recap of the revenue model. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Give a round of applause. Even though you weren't significantly over time, but I almost cut you off. Good work, guys. The people are saying in the chat, I think the guys want to put Skill Hat out of business. We'll see. Let's go to we're gonna go back from the top. So move up first for questions, thoughts, feedback here.
Yeah, so thanks for this. I also had the thought of like, Skill Hat and Tech Leap are gonna have to get into a gladiator battle after this meeting. But yeah, really good demo. One of the things that I find is useful in a situation like this of switching careers is a community being around you, right? And then being able to share ideas and work together, right? Not just the mentor or even the courses. And so I didn't really see that here. Is that something that you are going to introduce into the product, maybe as the next stage, or how are you guys thinking about like building a big community around switching careers?
So actually, sorry, I think we did go over time significantly. That was one of the final things that we plan to do. Once we have more and more users joining on, we've discussed introducing some kind of a chat feature to go between the mentees, to not just mentor to mentee relationship, but eventually for a UX designer to be able to connect with a software developer, or a software developer to connect with a product manager. But that would mean a lot of users being on and completing the course and being part of the community. So eventually, yes, we do want to be a network and a community. That's kind of the final stage of our product roadmap.
That makes sense.
Where do you want us to go next? Anyone specifically? Because I see you on mute.
I'm so sorry. I actually had said Chris should go next. Apologies. I didn't realize I was on mute. Please go ahead, Chris.
No problem, no problem. Again, thank you for the presentation and the product. I think everybody would think the same thing between Skill Hat and this, but it's okay, it's good. The good nature competitive, it shows that there's a need for this type of work and things like that. So that's great, and your take on it. I think for me, where I was looking at again, if the projections there, when I looked at your viability, you said 70, I think it was 73 or 76,000 over 6 months. I think that was kind of where we were at. And then your cost, I saw, maybe I read it wrong, but the top half had kind of like your employee kind of time that you put into it was like 36 or something like that. And then the bottom half had your, I guess your kind of product costs and everything like that. That was also like 36 or so. And then your outcome. So you said it was double. You said that your revenue would be double it. Did I read this wrong? Maybe.
Oh yes, can I go ahead? So for 9 weeks, just only 9 weeks now, given some assumptions of hourly cost per personnel and the people involved in this team, the labor cost, this is direct labor now, will total 31,000 if we 10 hours per week, 65 an hour for 9 weeks, and sum all of that gives around 31,000. And direct material costs, bubble housing, domain, firewall, security, Jira, Confluence, all that is going to be about 2,955.
Oh,
And
sorry.
we want to project 4,000 for initial advertising on social media, and a sum of all of that gives us 38,000.
Okay, sorry about that.
73,000 came out from, sorry, say again?
No problem. I actually misread it when you're doing it, so I get it now. So sorry, that was all clarification there for myself. So thank you for that.
Okay.
All right. Chris, any final comments as regards, the numbers, anything else you're seeing, or you're ready to pass on to the next judge?
No, I think this is an interesting concept. I think, in the early stages, there's a lot that can be developed on this, but I just want to congratulate the team on so far, what you've done so far.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Okay, let's go up to Conrad, and then we'll end with Deanna.
Okay. Good presentation, team. Just a quick question. I may have missed it. Just to clarify, in terms of the courses, this business would be developing the course content, correct?
Negative.
No?
So, we plan to house links and direct to where these courses will be located, primarily on our competitors' platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning. We chose not to house these courses on our platform due to the sheer volume of the courses and like the scale. Well, that is why we plan to get affiliate revenue from the courses. Whenever our users hit on the link and purchase a course or a session, we would get a revenue out of that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So basically, a lot of the revenue, in a sense, is coming from affiliate marketing, kind of.
Yes,
basically.
for the courses section, yes. But a huge chunk of our revenue would be from the mentorship program, which will be our main value proposition.
Okay. Thank you. I was just wondering about that, just to, in terms of, making sure that you have that viability. It's a great concept, of course. It's something that is important. So it's a great concept. Just wanted to make sure that you're also looking at that from that perspective in terms of, the viability and how that would ramp up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And let's end with Deanna.
I love the presentation from start to finish. Very engaging, very, high level, and it's something I can see tied into the business world within an HR platform. So this proof of concept or what you've taken in that 9 weeks, well done. Very well done. Can be very developed. And yes, Mo, it is a competition to you.
Yeah. Well, if we incubate Tech Leap and they take us out of business, do we lose or do we win? Right? Drake was brought out by Lil Wayne.
We have to come to an agreement, to a partnership. So we have to talk about it and then be sure that the terms and the conditions are in proper, place. So yeah.
All right. I love it.